So the question is, what is a copycat? And this is a good question. I posted a couple of videos about doing a copycat challenge and got some good response, and I am into it. I do want to do it, but I need to clarify something first. Like, what exactly is a copycat? Is it somebody who went to Etsy, used a spy tool, found something that was working, then went out and made a copy of it to sell on their own store? In my mind, that's what a copycat is. However, some people brought up a really good point. They said, look, if say I want to sell funny coffee mugs, I'll use an example here. Now I type this in, I go and find some funny coffee mugs that I could sell, and I'm like, okay, well, actually these are pretty cool. Touch my coffee, I'll slap you so hard Google won't even be able to find you. So I'm like, yeah, I like that. That's actually really good. I would love to put that on my shop. It's all done for me. It's actually a digital file for $2.32. I can buy that. I could make my own, but why do that when I could buy it, right? So I could buy this, put it on my shop, and now am I a copycat? Because I use this, but I have the license for it. In fact, for this one, commercial license for up to 500 physical products to make on whatever you want. T-shirts, mugs, tumblers, hats, stickers, bags, and more, decals, and more. So if I buy this file from a seller on Etsy who's providing it, am I now a copycat? Well, that's a good question. And I think this is where we really need to define it, because that in this case, if you're just doing this, you're going out and you're looking on Etsy for, instead of funny coffee mugs, you're looking for this PNG. So you're looking for the designs. And now there's a whole whack of these that you can buy, which will actually save you a ton of money. Like there's bundles, there's tons and tons. Some of these are physical ones, but I'm looking for a big bundle here. 30 plus mug designs for $8.44. Again, I don't know why the shop keeps popping up, but they do. Probably because they're making some cool ones, right? Like, I like these. Like, shut up, Rod, do you even lift? It's fine, I'm fine, everything's fine. So this one, I could make it on my own, or just chilling until the straps on my mood swing snap. That's actually, like, these are really well done. They got a nice text and then image, and they go well together. And so if I wanted to save some time and I wanted to get like 34 mugs up with funny designs on them, should I just buy this and do it? And now if somebody else buys the same bundle and does it, are they a copycat? That's what I'm wondering. Like, what's the definition? So let's go to Google and let's figure this out. So I already typed it in here before, but what is a copycat? And so it's basically denoting an action, typically a crime, carried out in imitation of another. So what's the meaning? Someone who is influenced by someone else or does exactly, or does or says exactly the same as them. You're just a copycat. Okay. Is it an insult? What's the meaning? Why is someone a copycat? What's an example? Okay, that's for people more than anything. So, in my mind, for our purposes, I believe that it's more like this. When you go here, and you go to like Valentine's Day shirt or sweater, was what I'm looking for. So I go here, I go to Valentine's Day sweater, and I see a bunch on here. Here's one, which is like a bestseller. So let's go to bestsellers real quick. Let's go to all filters, physical items, and then star seller, and then here. And now I'll go to here. Place word best up here. Remove the ship to. And now we've got this. And here it is. So here's the bestseller. Selling like crazy. So if I find this using a spy tool, actually that's not even the original. I don't think. Who is the original designer of this particular Valentine's Day shirt? We don't know. And could I find this design? Yep, I certainly could, and it wouldn't be very difficult either. In fact, I've already found it. So you go on here and you find that, that's fine. There's not too many of that, but then what the copycat will do is they'll take this exact, they won't change anything in the title. They'll take the exact same title, and they will use it on their own listing. So if you take the title and use that without changing anything, well, I would say you're a copycat because you just copied that original shirt with your own. Now you can see how many more are coming up using that used pretty much the exact same. Like, look at this one. Now, I don't know if this one was first or last or what, but exact same one. And this one's not selling anything. So I would say they just made a copy, slapped it on a shirt, and said, okay, I'm going to try too. If I go to the store, I'm not picking on the store, but just as an example. So they do have 29,000 sales, but this is what happens. So the design comes out, and then people buy it, and then it takes off. So at the point where it takes off, then people notice it, and then you make a listing based on that design taking off. I feel like you're kind of copying someone else's success, in my mind. Now, it could be wrong, because I can go buy this file very easily, and I can put it on my own shirt. Go here. Then I'll just switch this to PNG. Let's go digital. And I found it before. There it is. Right there. So they're selling this design for, wow, $8.41 for the design only. So I can buy that, and knowing that this is successful, the shirt itself, based on all the copies and based on the amount of people who are doing well with it, am I wrong? Am I a copycat? This is a gray area. And this is the part where it's like, I feel like if you came here and you found a shirt, right? You found this one. You're like, okay, I'm gonna do a copy of this because it's selling and I like it. It's pretty. It looks good. Great. I'm gonna copy it. So I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna copy the exact same title that I'm gonna use like Everbee, which everybody does, and then I'm gonna copy the exact same tags down here, and I'm gonna make my own. And then I'm going to make my own listing using all the exact same title and tags and design and everything. So where it's pretty much the same design. In that case, I feel like you copied it. Even though you're allowed to use the design, even though, I mean, you're free to do whatever you want. But then it's like, what if there is somebody who, say, doesn't have Everbee or doesn't have Allura or any of the spy tools out there? What if they don't have it? And what if they bought this design? They're like, that's a cute design. I'm just going to put that on a shirt. Is that person a copycat now? Because they didn't use any spy tools or anything to find the successful product. They just kind of saw the designs. Maybe they were looking for like Valentine's Day designs. And they saw it and they're like, oh, that's cute. I'm going to put that on a shirt. Are they a copycat? Let me know. Like, what do you think? In that case, I don't think they would be, because I think they're just using what's available and putting it on a shirt, even though in that case, the shirt has been copied multiple times. So I guess there is a real interesting discussion to be had about, like, really, what is a copycat? If you have something not in this vein, but say you come up with, and this is the hard part too, what if you're doing something like funny coffee mugs, right? Which I already showed there. And you're like, okay, I want to do funny coffee mugs. And you go to Everbee and you find the best sellers on the front page. And that's fine. You find there's quotes bundles. There's one. Looking at the price. Okay, there's one. There's one. So here's one. This one actually cracked me up. Live, love, laugh, Kim Jong-un. Well, that is funny. That's super funny. Like, so I see that and I go, okay, well, I want to make one of those. So I'm going to do the same thing, same text, but I'm going to do a different picture. And maybe instead of this picture, I'll get AI to do like an illustration of him, of Kim Jong-un. Sorry. So I could go anywhere, like go to this place. I could say, simply put in here. Right. And then I want an illustration. Have this generate a couple of them for me. And now I can take this and I can combine it with that text on my own. And in this case, am I copying them? Or did I take their successful product, which it seems to have gotten some sales. I found it using a spy tool, but now I went out and I created my own design. Oh, waiting 99 seconds. Jeez. Okay, let's go somewhere else and get a picture here. Don't want to do that. Try this. Yeah, ChatGPT 4 can make images now. They can even make images with text on them. This is kind of totally sidebar, but that ideogram.ai is really good. They come up with, I think the images are usually a little better looking than ChatGPT. But there we go. That's him. That's cartoon style. Not the best one, but I could take that image, and then I could go back here, and I could just make some text, live, love, laugh, with him. Or I could put that above, put him in the middle, put the dash name below. So did I copy them? In a way, I did. But in another way, I made my own version. But I got the inspiration from them and their successful mug. So now I'm like, okay, it's really an interesting discussion, because what is a copy and what's not a copy? Like, do we consider a copy if I take like a screenshot of that, remove the background, then upload the exact same image onto my own mug? Well, yeah, that's definitely a copy, like 100%. But if I take what they've done and make my own version with a totally different looking mug, is it a copy or is it a variation of a copy? And if this seller sees what I did and they go out and report my listing and it gets a copy strike from Etsy, or Etsy's like, yeah, you're right, he definitely copied you, and they make me take it down, well, then I guess I copied. I don't know. It's very weird. Like, I could see, in my mind, if I see this and I make my own version and I don't carbon copy their title and their tags, I feel like I use theirs as inspiration for my own, even though I found it with a spy tool. So what do we define a copycat as? And again, if I don't use a spy tool and I just go and buy a pack of like funny sublimation designs, and there's a whole bunch on here, and I'm sure that the designer has found like sayings that work very well and then just put on a different image. Did the designer copy something popular just to get their kind of bundle here? And so are they copying, and am I now copying the copier? It's getting confusing. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Like, what's a copycat? Is it only for unique sayings that you come up with and like put onto a product? Or is it you finding successful products and making your own version? Is that still copying, or is that just competition? Let me know in the comments what you think, because I'd love to hear your thoughts. I actually feel like it's a good discussion to have, because there's a little bit of confusion on what the heck is a copycat. Like, I think we should nail that down so we have some framework to work with before I do the challenge. Because if I just go and do the challenge and I buy a pack like this, am I now a copycat? If I use any spy tool in my challenge at all to find successful products and make my own version, am I a copycat too? Or is a copycat just somebody who does a carbon copy and doesn't change a thing? Or is it someone who, like, there's so many, I almost feel like I'm leaning towards, if it's a carbon copy, you're a copycat. Okay, so but yeah, even then, we go back to this design. And if you bought this and you didn't even see any other ones out there, like, I don't know how you wouldn't see it, but if you didn't, are you still a copycat? So what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Let's nail this down, figure it out.